Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is 28th of March. It is Thursday. It is Chaitra Masa or Vishnu Masa, Krishna Paksham, Tadiya Tithi. So there are no Vishnu levels today. So we shall quickly move into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Havya Yogi should merge himself into the super soul. So, by using his purified intelligence, so he has to merge his mind into his self, that is his soul, and then from soul into the super soul. Mana sobudhya amalaya niyamya kshetrajna etam ninayetam atmani atmanam atmani avruddhadiro labdopashantihi virameta krutyat. So once he merges himself, that soul into the super soul, then he will be, after completely uh, controlling his senses, then he would feel labdopashantihi, complete peacefulness. Labdopashantihi virameta krutyat, and then he will be free from all the material activities. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami mentioned, so the ultimate aim of the meditation on the super soul, Lord in the heart. Atmanam atmani avrujhadiro labdhopashantihi virameta kurichat. And then further, he is saying, once he attains that situation, whenever he attains that complete peacefulness, what happens? So he says, at that particular state, he will not be impacted by the time influence. The time influence is very destructive in such a way, even it will devour all the demigods who are the controller of the so-called material world. So there is no influence of the time factor. And not only that, there will not be no material goodness, no material passion, no material ignorance. There are no uh, uh, transformations. There are no changes within anything. No changes in the mind, intelligence, anything else. There is no casual motion, material casual motion, and also there is no material nature. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying it is completely transcendental. So we are in the second canto, chapter number 2, verse number 17. न यत्र कालो अनिमिषां परः प्रभुः कुतो नु देवा जगतां यईशिरे न यत्र सत्त्वं न रजस्तमः च न वै विकारो न महान् प्रधानम् न यत्र कालः अनिमिषां परः प्रभुः. So न यत्र कालः, there in that particular state of mind, which is the labdopashantihi, in that particular state, Nayatra Kalaha, that there is no time factor. there is no time factor. Nayatra kalaha animisham parah prabhuhu. And the time factor which even control the animisham, the heavenly demigods. That time factor even it controls the heavenly demigods. So when there is no influence of the time factor at the state of labdopashanti, what to speak of the demigods? Kuto no deva jagatam yayishare. What to speak of the demigods' influence on that particular transcendental state? Nayatra kalaha animisham parah prabhuhu kuto no deva jagatam yayishare. And further, Nayatra Sattvam Narajah Tamasha, there is no influence of mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Nayatra Sattvam Narajah Tamasha, no Sattva, no Rajaha, no Tamaha. And also, Navai Vikaro Namahan Pradhanam, Navai Vikaro, there is no Vikara. Vikara is the transformations. What is the transformations? Where there is earth, water, fire, ether, and air, wind. All these five elements are there. There is always the exchange of these elements, transformation. Our body is always vikara. Whenever we eat food, there is always vikara, changes within the body. That is vikara. So in the transcendental state, there is no vikara. Navi vikaro, na mahan pradhanam, na mahan. There is no material casual ocean and pradhanam material nature. No mahatattva. And so mahan is pradhanam is the before the mahatattva and pradhana. Pradhana is the before material nature is the agitated state of the pradhana. That is after influencing the three material modes of nature, pradhana turns to this prakriti. So there is no pradhana, no material casual, no pradhana, no maha, no mahatattva or material casual version. So it is the complete pure transcendental state. Nayatra sattvam narajah tamasya navai vikaro namahan pradhanam. That is the state of labdopashantihi. Nayatra kalaha animisham paraha prabhuhu kutono deva jagatam yayishere. Nayatra sattvam narajastamasya navai vikaro namahan pradhanam. So translation for this verse. In that transcendental state of labdhopashanti, there is no supremacy of devastating time, which controls even the celestial demigods who are empowered to rule over mundane creatures. And what to speak of the demigods themselves? Nor is there the mode of material goodness, nor passion, nor ignorance, nor even the false ego, nor the material casual ocean, nor the material nature. And purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So can I request Radha Sevaka Mataji to read the purport?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Purport. Devastating time, which controls even the celestial demigods, is by its manifestation of past, present, and future. Sorry. Past, present, and future does not act on the transcendental plane. The influence of time is exhibited by the symptoms of birth, death, old age, and disease. And these four principles of material conditions are present everywhere in any part of the material cosmos up to the planet Brahmaloka, where the duration of life of the inhabitants appears to us to be fabulous, insurmountable. Time even brings about the death of Brahma. So what to speak of other demigods like Indra, Chandra, Surya, Vayu, and Varuna? The astronomical influence directed by the different demigods over mundane creatures is also conspicuous by its absence. In material existence, the living entities are afraid of satanic influence, but for a devotee on the transcendental plane, there is no such fear at all. The living entities change their material bodies in different shapes and forms under the influence of the different modes of material nature. But in the transcendental state, the devotee is gunata, or above the material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Thus, the false ego of the I am the Lord of all I survey does not arise there. In the material world, the false ego of the living being trying to lord it over the material nature is something like the moth falling in a blazing fire. The moth is captivated by the glaring beauty of the fire, and when he comes to enjoy it, the blazing fire consumes him. In the transcendental state, the living being is pure in his consciousness, and as such, he has no false ego to lord it over the material nature. Rather, his pure consciousness directs him to surrender unto the Supreme Lord, as is stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.19. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. All this indicates that in the transcendental state, there is neither material creation nor the causal ocean for material nature. Sorry, Prabhu, where are we?
The above mentioned.
Sorry, where?
The above mentioned.
Oh, the above mentioned state of affairs is factual on the transcendental plane, but is factually revealed in a transcendentalist knowledge of the advanced state of pure consciousness. Such transcendentalists are of two types, namely the impersonalists and the devotees. For the impersonalists, the ultimate goal of destination is the Brahma Jyoti of the spiritual sky, but for the devotees, the ultimate goal is Vaikuntha planets. The devotee experience the above mentioned state of affairs by attainment of spiritual forms of activity in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. But the impersonalist, because of his neglecting the association of the Lord, does not develop a spiritual body for spiritual activity, but remains a spiritual spark only merged in the effulgent spiritual rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is the full-fledged form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, but the formless Brahmajyoti is simply eternity and knowledge. The Vaikuntha planets are also forms of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, and therefore the devotees of the Lord who are admitted into the abode of the Lord also get bodies of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, as there is no difference between one and another. The Lord's abode, name, fame, entourage, etc., are of the same transcendental quality, and how this transcendental quality differs from the material world is explained herewith with this verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Three principal subjects which have been explained by Lord Shri Krishna, namely Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. But one who can reach the Vaikuntha planets by the practice of Bhakti Yoga only, but one can reach the Vaikuntha planets by the practice of Bhakti Yoga only, and the other two are incompetent in helping one reach the Vaikuntha lokas. Although they can, however, conveniently take one to the effulgent Brahmajyoti as described above.
Hare Krishna Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. So it is a long purport. So here in this state of Labdhopashantihi, Prabhupada is mentioning that there is no influence that is in insurmountable time, even brings about the death of Brahma. So everything is subject to time factor, and so in that state there is no fear or no such fear at all. A devotee and the forms and the transcendental plane, there is no fear, akuto bhayam. And Prabhupada further says about this is one has to renounce that bhukta bhoga, that is renounce bhukta. I am the enjoyer, and I'm here to enjoy all these things. Yavatkumitmatmana indriyardha maya bhalam bhagavato janisha pasyet. So that is the bewilderment of the Maya. So one has to renounce such kind of enjoyment within this material world. That is called gunatita. That is mamchayo abhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatite chan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. That is Krishna's statement. Then only it will come by only devotional service. That is where this the false ego of aham mameti, yo agraha aham mameti iti etasmin yojitastvayam. This is avagraha. This is not a good ego. It is false ego. That is, and just like a giving analogy of the moth, it is as soon as one tries to enjoy the material nature, he will be consumed by the material nature. Just like a moth, he is captivated by glaring beauty of the fire, and he will be consumed by the fire. Likewise, living entity also, if he tries to enjoy, that's it, he will be gone. So that is material nature. It is when also the beautiful nature, it is a smile of the Virat Rupa form, that also we have seen there. And in such a way, living entity is entangled within this material world. It is all the time one has to be very alert. If he is being attracted towards the material comfort, the sense pleasures, whatever he getting pleasure with the material things, that means he is being entangled. Unless it is completely chant through the happiness through the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the transcendental state as a servant to the Krishna. So that is surrender unto the Supreme Lord, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So that is one point. And then further, Prabhupada is mentioning about the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha planets. And people, the devotee, yogis who are in the karma and jnana, they don't get the spiritual bodies like the devotees. They get the spiritual bodies and enter into the Vaikuntha planets. So they remain yogis, like a jnana yogis, karma yogis. They will be just like a spiritual spark in the Brahma Jyoti only. So if we see our past, all the many sages, they are able to go to Vaikuntha, but they never stayed there permanently. They have to return back. We have seen so many pastimes. Durvasa Muni went there for some problem to the Vaikuntha, but he returned back. And Bhrugumani went there and then he returned back. And many, the four sages Kumaras, they went there, they returned back. They don't have a permanent clue to stay. They have not executed. Of course, they have got the transcendental knowledge. But here, only devotees, if we see Dhruv Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, so we see these devotees, they attained the spiritual planets. And many devotees, they have been taken by the Vaikuntha people to in airplanes. So that we see from the scriptural evidences. Okay, so that is the that comes only through bhakti yoga. One can reach the Vaikuntha plans by the practice of bhakti yoga only. Other are incompetent in helping one reach the Vaikuntha lokas. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's purport, and there is much to explain, but the time consciousness. Okay, so Nayatra Kalu Animisham Parah Prabhu Kutono Deva Jagatam Yayishare Nayatra Sattvam Narayastamasha Navaivikaro Namahan Pradhanam. That is the pure devotional service, completely transcendental. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So today it is related to Madhudvisha, January 26, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request any other non-devotee, unallocated devotees to read this letter?
I can read, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
My dear Madhuvisa, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge this to your letter dated 25th of January 1970, along with two enclosures, namely the agenda for West Coast presidential meeting and list of preparation offered to the deities on the disappearance day of Guru Maharaj, or day of my Guru Maharaj. I have read over presidential agenda and have noted the persistence of all the items. Now, let us see the result of the conference and the practical outcome of the subject under the discussion. The list of 108 feast preparation is also approved by me. Thank you very much. Regarding our new temple, continue your effort to secure a suitable place, and when Krishna desire, we shall find out a nice place. Already you have got one prospect in the large mansion. Yes, it is our only prayer that we are always asking the Lord of future or further opportunities, asking the Lord for further opportunities of service. We do not care to ask for anything else. So this is our only prayer. Our life is service to Krishna, and how we may serve him more and more. That is our only desire. So far the Christian preachers are concerned, you may ask them to leave the temple and address them like this. If you have to preach your Christian philosophy, why don't you ask people to come to your place? Why do you come here and disturb? Our temple is specially meant for preaching Krishna consciousness. In the world, there are different philosophies, and they have got their own temple also, long before our temple was opened. There are places of worship of the Jews, of the Christian, and many other sects. They have got their different camps. Why do you come here and create disturbance? New devotees should be told that the Christian preaching is already there. So if they are attracted by the Christianity, the Christian temples are there. When one comes to the Krishna temple, he should try to understand Krishna consciousness. Actually, one who is advanced will not find any contradictions. The Christian teach love of Godhead, and we perfectly do that. So one has to understand from the practical point of view. A man is judged by his activity. We see that they are engaged in smoking habit, eating meat, and indulging in free mixing of boys and girls. These are not activities of religious person. Lord Jesus said, and Bible also says, thou should not kill, but they are eating meat. So we must see practically if someone is leading a pure life and not be blinded by some sentiment. Our students are strictly observing our four rules or restraints from impure habits, and they are factually living according to the highest standard of religious life. So we are actually following the principles of pure living in Krishna consciousness. But it appears that the followers of Christian philosophy have fallen down from the transcendental platform. So one must be pure-hearted, and if they are still inclined to remain Christian, they can go. There is no need of raising controversial point and thus wasting each other's time. There are even different political group, and one group does not go to the other group to preach their tenets, but they but they have got their own camp. Besides that, when we perform our Krishna Kirtan in our home or temple, nobody can legally disturb it. I hope this will clearly clarify the situation. Please offer my blessings to all the boys and girls and devotees there. I hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever Rulisher Esi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any takeaway points, Prabhuji?
Yeah, the takeaway point for me is our life is just to service Krishna, and we should be always hankering for serve more and more, and that's how only we should get the pleasure, and that's how we should seek the entertainment. This should be our only entertainment. Haribol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhupada is saying that Krishna temple is not for including Christianity discussion and speech, because it's not something that we follow. People are prepared. We respect other religion, but people should be doing it in their own premise and not in Krishna consciousness. And he's telling the Prabhu not to follow that process. That was the main point here.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other points? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So only our prayer to Krishna is we do not care to ask anything else, but only to serve to Krishna. That is our desire. Asking more service, further opportunities of service. We may serve him more and more. That is our only desire, nothing else. And the Krishna consciousness is very pure. It is very pure. There is nothing else which can compare to the Krishna consciousness, the high standards of worshipping Krishna. And our motto is serving in loving devotional service. That's all. There are many things. So with other religious.
Yeah, it's about the meat eating as well, and bad habits, smoking, eating meat, and indulging in mixing boys. Yeah, you're not to mix with boys and girls. You keep that separate.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. So that is our Krishna consciousness. It is very high standard. It is tapasya. We never ever leave this tapasya at any point of time. So Lord says, bhuyas tapa atistam vijham shaiva madashriyam. Even though one engaged so far all the time chanting and everything, but still Lord says, continue that one. Again, whenever Lord appears, you continue your austerity and penance to Brahma. So that gives the most transcendental pleasure. Thank you so much, Mataji. That is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening at 8 p.m. we have got a Krishna book reading by Shyam Gudivada Prabhuji, and there are so many devotees are joining that session. That new devotees are joining, and let's all devotees join and also help Shyam Prabhuji in getting more devotees onto Krishna consciousness. And coming Saturday, I'll be in the Bhaktivedanta Mana temple Friday evening and Saturday and Sunday. I would like to meet devotees wherever it is possible. I'll look for the devotees there. And Saturday Sangha is with Vipin Vihar Dasa Prabhuji, and Devashishi Prabhuji is going to host the session. I may not be available for that evening Sangha. And also I request for coming Tuesday, any devotees. So just like now we are going in a second round of devotees for the preaching sessions. Who have not after Prabhavati Mataji. So dear devotees, if anyone was interested, like ready to give the lecture, so kindly let me know so that we shall allocate. So the coming weeks we shall allocate so that we don't have to chase again and again. If you have time slots available, please let me know for the Tuesdays. Hare Krishna. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Okay, if there are no further updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत वैष्णव भक्त देखिए प्रभुपाद की
की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे
everyone.
कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद
की जय